about this. Talk about this, man. What has life been like for you right now? Well, what's the season of life been treating you? Give us a peek into your world.
Man, life been good. Like God's been good to me. I got no complaints. You know what I'm saying? God been just bringing my family closer together. As far as the music, He's kept me going with that. In a way. I kind of been like on a break, but not break.
Yeah.
So it's like, and I'm coming up out of that now. So it's like everything kind of been, just He been teaching me how to have balance. Cause at first, I wasn't, doing well with balance. If I was doing the music, I was away from the family. If I was, with the family, or working, it was just. But he done gave me balance, and He done opened some doors for me. So. Life is real good right now.
That's what's up, man. And so, yeah, I feel like speaking of life, man, you definitely, been at it for a while, but you also, you do a lot of different things, man. Like you tour with Phew. You guys went all over the country.
Yeah.
You also like have a construction business and doing like, you do a lot of different things, man.
Yeah.
How does it feel like to be someone that provides for their family, being so multifaceted? You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like sometimes artists have this picture of what they Christian hip hop career is going to be, and they kind of have like a headstrong view of it. You as a provider for your family, you know what I'm saying, tapped into culture and all that, but you do it from a lot of different places. Talk about having that like diversity in terms of.
Yeah, I feel like God led me and taught me that, because at first I thought like just being able to go to the studio all day, work on music all day was, making it, in a sense, like if I was working or doing any other things, like I wasn't really an artist, you know what I'm saying, or I was like part-time.
Sure.
But God, kind of showed me that like this provides for this. Doing
true.
this, you can support your music, and then what I'm saying, even with linking up with my brother Phew, what I'm saying,
for sure.
It's like I made it, what I'm saying? Even if it's supporting him outside of my own artistry, I do, but it's like I get the best of both worlds. I get to be my own solo artist. I get to tour with him, what I'm saying? Tour by myself, at times. Go home, what I'm saying? Work on my business, work with my family. So it's like the best. Like people think it's like bad that like if you go home to work or do something, but I view it as a good thing, what I'm saying? Because it's like nothing's pulling. So if something happens to where I can't do this no more, I still got this. I got something to fall back on at all times. So that's where I try to, strive to set myself up to, so if the music, I'm always gonna do music in some kind of way.
That's fire,
but I definitely want to get to where like, okay, this can support the music, or if this falls, the music can support that. So what I'm saying?
For sure. And talk about like you obviously a family man. Talk about like how many kids you got, how long you been married. I feel that's important for like just uniquely, honestly, bro to bro, being in Atlanta, being a hip hop artist, being a black man, and being a married
family man.
Yeah. What's that feel like, bro?
Man, it feel great. You know what I'm saying? Of course, like, it had its challenges as far as like marriage, being young, getting married, and not kind of knowing, direction. So God had to lead and guide me, you know what I'm saying? And He's still teaching me, how to be a good husband, you know what I'm saying, and a father. Just it's good, you know what I'm saying. At first, it was stressful. It was like I said, it was like a lot going on, but I had to pray about it and just ask God like to lead me, and guide me, and I put it in His hands. And so then I started to see my marriage doing better, you know what I'm saying? My kids, started, opening up about God. Just learning to lead by example.
Right.
Because at first, I was just in my zone, just trying to, thinking I'm doing for them, you know what I'm saying? They'll understand it later. But God he showed me that I had to bring my family into my world, you know what I'm saying?
That's good.
As far as like even my wife, you know what I'm saying? Let her open the doors for her to be a part. If she want to be a part of it, she can. If she don't, then that's fine. But long as I'm not just closed off from them and just doing my own thing, and they feel like I'm away, or just the distance, just closing that gap, and then we just all doing together. So now they all be, with me at the shows. Like, even my nephew, nieces, they be with me. People think I got
going crazy.
A lot of kids.
They think you started low out here.
Yeah. So they be with me at the shows. Crazy. You know what I'm saying? And it's just.
So talk about why you being a family man as a representative of Christ and in culture is so important, when I feel like there is not enough representatives of people like that look like you, talk like you, dress like you, that actually are like faithfully in community and married. Like, talk about why that's important for people like you.
I feel like it's important because it's hard. Like I ain't gonna get on here and act like it's just easy, because one, marriage is a challenge. Like you gotta really you gotta understand what love is and what it takes to be married to one. Like, two people becoming one, that's like really hard. Like, and so it's like you gotta be up for the challenge. And a lot of people, they get kind of like to the point where I'm kind of rocky, so let me not just promote that I'm married, or let me just be cool about the family part, just because it's so rocky right now, and I don't want to have to take that hit. But I feel like it's important to put it out there, and just because even at one point for me, just being transparent, like I felt like things had got a little too rocky, so I was like, well, I don't want to have to announce that I'm, what I'm saying? Just pretty much the devil had in my mind preparing to quit or give up, what I'm saying? But God changed it. So I think it's important to be loud, on the enemy, because
that's hard.
Because the louder you are, the more help you'll have. People hear you, or you won't feel so alone, because people, if they're inspired by what you're doing, they'll say, man, hey, I like what you're doing, man. You married. And then those little things that help me, what I'm saying, along the way, like, yeah, all right, that inspired them, so that made me want to fight a little harder. So what I'm saying, so that's just kind of like,
that's fire, bro.
Yeah,
that's fire.
I know your kids and your wife are so grateful, and like even years down the line, they're going to be so grateful that you made that change completely. And P, listen, I feel like there are so many things when we were coming up with talking points of what to talk about. I thought I knew what I wanted to talk about with you, but then I learned so many new things about you with when it comes to music and things like that. So I wanted to ask about how you got your start in music, but correct me if I'm wrong, you were in a hip hop group a while ago. Can you talk a little bit about that, your early stages of being in music, and then even transitioning even to being a part of that group?
Yeah, so pretty much like the beginning, it was just really, I really wasn't, I would write songs. Like I've been like in love with music since I was a kid, but I would write songs not knowing what I was gonna do, just not even knowing, like, and so pretty much as far as like growing up, I was raised in church, but of course, like I strayed off and did my own thing, and that's a part of my testimony, being a prodigal son. That's what Pson stand for.
Oh, okay.
For those who don't know. So basically, when I strayed off, I was just hanging with, friends and stuff, and they had a rap group called Black Southern Boys, BSB, and so I would write songs, but I had never thought about rapping, like, because I was in church, like I would write like church songs and stuff, just being with my mama, and so pretty much one day they was in the studio playing the beat, and then they were like, you should try to write something, you know what I'm saying? And I did my little thing, and then and pretty much once I wrote the rap, they was like, oh, that's hard. You need to think about it. So like, think about rapping. So I was like, okay, I thought about it, and so I kind of clicked up with them, you know what I'm saying, and started doing the secular, music. And so pretty much after that, God just kind of he always, like, I go out there, but he always never let me go too far.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? So pretty much he hit me with the, hey, why don't you do this for me? You know what I'm saying? Why don't you try doing it for me? And pretty much, because I would always wonder, like why do I want to go out here and do this? Why can't I just be content with being a Christian, being young and saved? You know what I'm saying? And so I would think about what I felt like I needed, you know what I'm saying? And then pretty much that would be like just the influence, and God just kind of kicked it to me like, won't you be that? Like, won't you be a part of that? And so that's when I really started kind of doing writing like where I'm at today. It's just kind of leading.
Prodigal Son. 1K
yeah.
Prodigal Son.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So you and you also like you was in the military for a second too. Like to talk about a little bit about that journey, like making music and then deciding to go to the army, well, not the army, but to the military. And serve.
So that's kind of like right when everything kicked off. You know what I'm saying? I was kind of just indecisive what I want to do with my life. You know, a little bit over here, a little bit over there. So you know, it got to the point where I was like, at that point, I was like, I know I ain't gonna go to college, but I want to do something with my life.
That's good.
You know what I'm saying? So I joined the military, and and it was, you know, it was one of the best things I could say that I did. You know what I'm saying?
What made you say, like, why was it one of the best things?
Because it was like some of the areas as a man, you know, I felt like that I was lacking in. Had I not went into the military, I wouldn't have those tools today. You know what I'm saying? Now, a lot of the agendas that come with, you know, outside, you know, I don't got nothing to do with that. But as far as like the training and the things you go through to become like a soldier,
for sure.
Like I feel like I feel like every man should at least experience that part.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? Like,
did you serve active duty? Were you?
Yeah, I did the guard and I did active duty. So I was in the guard, then I got activated, and I went overseas to Afghanistan. You know, and
how long were you?
I was over there a year. So yeah,
man, I almost want to get into that next. That seemed like a lot of. I mean, you was in Afghanistan, boy.
Yes, sir.
That's crazy.
Sir,
yes. So we'll definitely get back into that as we come back. This is the 116 Life, Holy Culture Radio, Sirius Channel 140. Here at 1K Prodigal Son from Atlanta. Meah Evans. I'm your host, Ace Harris. We'll be right back, y'all.
Yes, sir.
Welcome back, y'all. This is the 116 Life on Holy Culture Radio, Sirius Channel 140. I'm one of your hosts, Ace Harris, here with
Meah Evans. We got 1K Pson in the building.
Sir,
Y'all, we have to talk
sir.
about dang, P, the things that you went through being in Afghanistan. Can you just talk about what that was just like, you know, being over there for a year? Was it what you expected? Was it harder than what you thought? Kind of dive into that a little bit.
I would say it was a lot of different emotions, you know what I'm saying? Of course, the traveling, you know, getting to see the world, getting to, you know, experience certain things like, you know, being in Germany on St. Patrick's Day, you know, stuff like that, you know, it was definitely an experience that, you know, that I value and that, you know, that I, you know, appreciate. The fact that it was wartime, you know, that's the part that was just not so good about it, you know what I'm saying? Being at war, waking up, you know, and people in the mountains, they fighting, like it's just gunfire, bombs going off, like, you know, every day, you know what I'm saying? You so it's going off so much, you get kind of immune to it, you know what I'm saying? That like, you know, this is, but you don't get used to it, but you get immune to it. But,
okay, got you.
You know, just as far as like, you know, being over there, getting to the point like, you know, probably like 6 months out and feeling like, you know, I ain't gonna make it home. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like I would, you know, I really literally got to the point where I was just like, I don't think I'm gonna make it home because, you know, we would get attacked, you know, some people that was, you know, kind of, you know, not as close to me, you know, as my, you know, platoon or whatever, but people that was out there with us, we lost some of them. And so it was kind of like, it just was an experience. Like, I can't say it was bad or good, you know what I'm saying? But some bad things happen, you know what I'm saying? But also good things happen, you know, as far as just experiencing, building brotherhood.
Sure.
You know, just making friends for life like that.
What was going on in your heart? I guess I know what was going on in your head. What was going on in your heart spiritually, like as you on the battlefield, literally, and you out here, you know what I'm saying, dodging bullets and bombs.
Yeah.
What was going on in your heart spiritually about your view of God, your relationship with Him, as you were processing, man, I may not make it home?
Well, see, at the that's where it just kind of changed. You know what I'm saying? Because at first I was just over there as myself, like, I like I said, I was raised in church, so I knew the way. But that was kind of one of my things. Like, I'm just kind of getting caught up in the mix.
For sure.
And so basically, once I started feeling, like I said, like I wasn't gonna make it, I had to call on Jesus. Like, I had to, like, just hold on to him, as far as, like, to get me through the rest of my time over there. Because it's like, you will see people, kind of crashing out, like, because everybody, experiencing the same thing, but you calling home, people got kids. At that time, I ain't had no kids, so I don't know what I would have been like if I had kids. Right. But at the same time, like, they'll be hearing their kids, and then it's bombs going out. So we don't know what's gonna happen the day from the next. They telling us we gonna come home, and then we get, like, our family telling us, oh, they said on the news y'all coming home, and then we get off the phone and the top, like, nah, don't believe what you hear on TV, what I'm saying? So it's like, it was just very, like, an emotional roller coaster, kind of like up and down, you know what I'm saying? And it just wears on you mentally, you know what I'm saying? And once you get back, you gotta let it all, just out, you know what I'm saying? That's why I kind of, I'm a big advocate for mental health as well, because you know what I'm saying, like, a lot of folks go over there and they don't come back right, you know what I'm saying? I feel like everybody still have their issues and still have, like, some form of PTSD, you know what I'm saying, just kind of being in that.
Did you, sorry to cut you off, did you seek some mental health after coming back?
Yeah. I definitely, after a while, but I didn't realize it, you know what I'm saying? I didn't realize I needed kind of, like, a little help once I got back. I thought I was being, just back. I knew I wasn't the same when I left, but you know what I'm saying, it kind of took family and people that just knew me to like, nah, you might need to go, kind of, just talk to somebody about what you experienced, and that's what I did.
That's amazing, man. Shout out to you for your courage to seek that out.
Yeah. So you come back from being overseas. What does your spiritual and life and faith walk look like coming back? And even how did music even get woven back into the mix of your life?
And so, and pretty much that's what kind of, I started working on music while I was over there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
you making beats where the bombs going on, bro.
That's really when he told me, to do this for me. It was over there. You know what I'm saying? I was still, like, I had did the rap group, like, maybe that summer, you know what I'm saying? And so I was doing that, but then, my brothers and my sister, they was doing music too. We would always be doing, so God started downloading songs in my head while I was over there, but I would just get, like I think I remember, like, the Travis Porter beat, Make It Rain. So I had flip it, and it would be like, make it rain, Lord, make it rain. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I would do that, and then pretty much that was kind of keeping me busy. When I talked to them, I send I think I had Mixcraft or something like that. I do my little
on the phone
version.
You had studio set up?
No, just it used to come with sound recorder or whatever it was back then.
That boy was making beats in the platoon.
It was crazy.
Yeah. I wish I had a photo of that. You got the military gear, the strap over here, and you up there making it rain.
It's some stuff.
That imagery is great.
It's some stuff out there like that. But I would send it back to them, and they would do their verses and whatever. And so when I got ready to come back, I think I came on like a 2-week break, and then God just kind of opened the door where we was able to perform at his church, you know what I'm saying? And so we didn't know what we was doing, you know what I'm saying? We went up there, and it just was like, they loved it so much, we ended up calling ourselves Heaven Bound, a group. So I started with Heaven Bound, my brothers and my sister. You know what I'm saying? And so that's really what birthed from me being overseas. And then after Heaven Bound, it was just like, of course, they kind of grew up. They didn't want us kind of stay in the music. So God just, made me the prodigal son, and then I Pson from there.
Okay.
That's where it really birthed from.
Dang, that's just a phenomenal revelation for me that and in the belly of the beast, you know what I'm saying?
Sheesh, yeah.
In a war zone, you know what I'm saying? God gave you the vision to tap into him. Yeah. And I'm trying to figure out how you can be creative under those circumstances.
Yeah, right.
But it's like you ain't really got no choice. You got to try to find some kind of outlet. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, and you just, when you ain't at work or, because it's kind of like work. You go to work and then you be off. You know what I'm saying? So when you off, you either kind of like going through the little town or you gonna come back to your pod and just kind of be. Yeah. So that's pretty much the outlet God gave me.
And when you left, when you was with Heaven Bound, and you started to be 1K, Pson, did you have an idea of what it would be like to have a career as a Christian hip hop artist or gospel rap artist, or was it like you were just going for where the Lord? Right,
I didn't know. Like I didn't know. I really thought I was the first of my kind. Like I think we all feel like that because it's like I really thought I was the first of my kind. Like this, with my kind of sound. Like as far as that, and so like I had no idea really about Christian hip hop. Even back then, you know what I'm saying. So I was introduced as I was, doing it, As I got deeper in it, the more I found out, oh, it's a whole world over here. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like that.
And did you like in terms of as you was it churches inviting you, or were you like?
Yeah, it was crazy because that one show, and I promise, like we was booked off that one show, like we started being booked like for a good 2 years every weekend without no, like, I don't know what no booking, like we don't know none of that. Like we like in the city, we was booked like, well, in and out of like Alabama, we was traveling, like we was going like Florida, like my mom, we had a momager. So,
right.
Shout out mom.
Yeah.
So she was, they'll call and get in contact with her and book, and we was booked for a good like 2 years for like nonstop, like every weekend. Like
speaking of momager, like what was your childhood like growing up? Like I'm just curious, like to where that would be something that she would,
Well, I felt like my mama always believed in me with the music because she already seen something. She bought me my first keyboard, to make my little beats on, and so we had it hard, you know what I'm saying? Her buying my first keyboard was meant a lot because we ain't have money like that. So, so for her to, like, I don't know what she had to do to get it, but you know what I'm saying, she got it. But I know like we had a little rough childhood, you know what I'm saying? Her and my dad that raised me, like they got married young, and life kind of got at them early. So, they had 5 kids they was trying to raise at like 19 and 20, so, we kind of had it hard, but, God, but they taught us the word. They taught us,
so good.
How to call on Jesus when we in help, when we need help, so.
Were you and your siblings close?
Oh yeah. We was close because we was all we had. You know what I'm saying? We really didn't have the luxury of playing sports and like doing a lot of things outside of just being at home playing together. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So
y'all was a basketball team.
You're right.
That was it. That was it.
What side of town were y'all on?
We was on the east side. East Atlanta.
East Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
And go ahead. Yeah.
No, I was going to say, thinking about you being a part of the group prior, and then with Heaven Bound, and then when it came to you, the door opening for you to do your own thing. What was going through your mind? Like, were you confident about it? Were you kind of hesitant about it? Like, just talk through what was going through your mind when you had to kind of step away from Heaven Bound and want to do your own thing.
It was kind of hesitant because it was like I was used to being up there with my brothers and my sister. Like, so I had my part, and then I knew they was coming. But so it took me a while, like, just as a solo artist to just embrace, like, being able to, like I knew how to work a crowd, but just like with people, you know what I'm saying? So it was like getting out there by myself. It was kind of like I'm out here by myself. What they thinking? Like how they, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it took me a while, you know what I'm saying, until I just had to kind of embrace it and just say, okay, this is it. This is how this going now.
Yeah, shout out God for giving me that confidence, man.
For sure.
Because I think that I think it's dope that people that you thought you was like one of the few pioneers, but I think at the time gospel rap, Christian hip hop, probably wasn't what it is then. What it is now.
No, it was nowhere near. And I thank God for letting. I would say like I do thank God for letting me be part of the pioneering it,
sure,
for our sound,
for your sound. I think that's important to note. Because who else would you say had a sound like yours or yours back then? I mean, was it Gideon's Army? Was it
Gideon's Army?
I
Gideon's Army,
for real.
Gideon's Army
was it one Future Son? Was it who else was Canton Jones? Some people in that area.
It would be like in that like Canton Jones.
Okay.
Gideon's Army, but it still wasn't quite as hood. Like it wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like that.
Good, bro. That was real good.
But they used to be chopping demons all the time.
Right. Nah, we looked up to them like
they were like big bros. Y'all was kind of before y'all.
Yes.
Was able like our group had actually was moving so much that we had ended up being like at an award show, with them, and got to perform in front of them, and so that was like one of our biggest moments. Like we was like, wow, like, and then they, afterwards they was showing love, so it was like, that was definitely, Canton Jones, Gideon's Army, but it was just still not quite like, and then until I, and I still, was working, doing my thing, and then, I bumped into my brother, Future Kid,
Future Kid.
My boy 1K Phew.
1K Famo.
So, when I first heard him, I was like, well, no, I didn't hear him. I seen his name. Because he was a workaholic. So he on Facebook posting, boom, boom, back to back.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, who is this? Future Kid? Who he think he is? Future? So it was like when I finally checked out his music, I was like, it's time. Yeah.
And we all had to talk about, I love when you brought up you talking about how hard Phew went and like when you first met him and like how hard he was going. I remember seeing Phew, he was at my church and he had this real tall hair and everyone was just like really rocking to him. He was just going around the stage, you know what I'm saying? But Phew was always a hard worker. Like we were even talking off air about like at every show.
For sure.
When did it click for you to be like, nah, I really want to lock in with him? Like I admire what he's doing, but like I like when did the friendship really come in between you guys?
So pretty much it was like Heaven Bound. Like in the city, it was like Heaven Bound and Future Kid. Like those two names. Okay. Yeah, I was we gonna either be at every show or you know what I'm saying, you gonna hear about it. So we was hearing about, like I said, I was hearing about Future Kid. I'm like, who is this Future Kid? Like, you know what I'm saying? Who he thinking Future Son? Like or something like that. And so I kind of
Yo, in the building.
That's crazy. Shout out to Phew in the building.
Off camera.
Hey, that just scared me.
But came out like Candyman, didn't he?
That's
say his name 5 times.
That's crazy timing. That's crazy.
Shout out my boy YK Phew. All right, but yeah, man, that's how you would hear, you know what I'm saying? And so when I finally checked out his music, I was like, this the sound right here. This is it. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then just pretty much like we still kept, we was a group and he was doing his solo thing. And so it wasn't until like my group, my brothers and my sister, they kind of like, they was going off to college and they wanted to do other things. And so I was like, man, I guess I'm about to just have to be solo. And so, Phew just kind of like out the blue. It was crazy because he just, hit me up on some like, man, hey man, I want you to be down with 1K. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm like, all right, you know what I'm saying? I was, because I look, my group wasn't, grouping, and so, like, I was like, cool, you know what I'm saying? And pretty much from there, it's been up, you know what I'm saying? Like, as far as like the brotherhood, like we really just, more of anything, it's been the brotherhood.
Yeah.
So, I thank God for, Phew, because like, we be there, like literally, like brothers of accountability. Like we watched each other grow. You know what I'm saying? We've been around each other. You know what I'm saying? We know each other, and we protect each other, look out for each other. And so it's like even outside of the music, it's just been a dope journey. With him. So.
I love, I'm not even gonna lie to you, as long as I've been doing Eminem Live Radio and just in media hosting, anytime Phew would do a show, all of y'all pulled up. And like that, everyone always talks about that, about how like, Phew always roll 40 deep, but I'm not gonna lie to you, P, I love seeing y'all together. I love the brotherhood, the community you guys have, for so long, and it aside from being even on stage, you can just tell that it's real. Can you just talk about how having that brotherhood, that community has impacted you beyond even music, but even just as a family man? Because everyone has their own families and has wives and things like that. How has it impacted you?
Like just like I said, having a brother of accountability is amazing, because it's like those moments when you want to give up or you want to throw in the towel, you got somebody like, he gonna hit you. Man, come on, he gonna joke about it, but still drop some jewels and just be like, bro, you got to keep going. Even with the music, like it was one point I was like, I'm done with it. When, like I said, it started to get, too much trying to balance everything. And he like, nah, man, you got to keep going. So even when I was not really going, he was still dragging me, like still like, come on, now you gonna keep going. And pretty much just having somebody like that is just, it's a blessing, what I'm saying? So if, like, y'all got somebody like that, man, y'all appreciate them. Man. Make sure y'all let them know that, what I'm saying? I definitely tell him all the time that I appreciate him as he does me, you know what I'm saying?
That's so dope.
And it's just, even with the family aspects, like, we get, have family issues at home, we call each other, might go out, just kick it, just vent, just to vent to each other.
That's so good,
and
bro.
Just, so we go back home and, all right, we good. We, you know what I'm saying? Just having that other person who really genuinely is looking out for your best interest and not just, just gonna tell you anything or be a yes man. Because one thing I'm not gonna be, he not gonna be a yes man. You know what I'm saying? If I'm looking out for him, he looking out for me. When I can't see things clearly, he gonna, all right, man, I don't know about that, man. You need to do this, or vice versa. It's just like that.
And talk about how you partnering up with him to be a part of 1K Famo. And like when you already kind of had your own situation, and Phew's career obviously started to ascend in a certain way, and you like was definitely there to compliment him, and you also took a certain position as to support him, like whether that's going on tour or letting him lead that group and like the energy that y'all had as a group. Talk about what kind of humility it took, and how did you feel when you had to kind of like feel like, man, I feel like God's calling his vision to take the lead out, and I'm gonna support him. Like talk about the humility in you to do that, man. Especially when you already had like your own traction, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel like that it's for me, it's always been for the culture. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even today, like now it's like we trying to get somewhere. So somebody gotta be a leader. Everybody can't lead, you know what I'm saying? Everybody not called to lead. Everybody not, just cause you think you the hottest, or you know what I'm saying, if God open the doors and put you in a place, you just gotta walk in there until he release you from that place.
That's
or
a bar.
or he open up another door. And with that situation, it has its challenges, but it's just like, I know at the end of the day, God has me on assignment to support, you know what I'm saying? And I've had people, oh man, you harder than, you this, you that, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, you got to step back and be like, is this the enemy trying to bring division? You know what I'm saying? And so most of the 9 times out of 10, it be that, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, I haven't missed nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I haven't missed nothing being able to just push my brother. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I love
God
that.
still open up doors. I still, you know.
So good, yeah.
And I looked up and I'm like, dang, I haven't missed nothing. Like, people told me, oh yeah, you gonna be in his shadow, man. You gonna this, that. And I haven't missed nothing. If anything, I've stayed relevant when I haven't did like work for a year. Like, you know what I'm saying? If anything, you know, God has, you know, used that to catapult me, you know what I'm saying, on another level. So it's like, you gotta just follow God. You can't follow man because they don't understand. And sometimes, you know, you don't know, just because you think this is the position you playing, God using you for a whole nother, you know,
so good,
whole nother situation. And you know, you never know who watching, who that inspires. So it's like, when people see me, they get like, I guess like it's like a double dose, because it's like they see me with him, then they get to know me, and then they get to know my music. It's kind of like a total different vibe, kind of like. So it's like, it's just
I love that.
It, you know what I'm saying?
I feel like so many ways in how we have read the scriptures or done church or presented the stories in the Bible. Sometimes it's good, but sometimes we end up propping ourselves to be the main character.
Yeah.
We read about David. Like, oh yeah, I'm David. We read about Moses. I'm Moses. When God always talks about those main characters and the people that complimented them. And I think, everybody not gonna be David.
Right.
Everybody not gonna be Moses. Yeah. Some of y'all gonna be Aaron.
Or Jonathan.
Right.
Jonathan.
Yeah.
And that's okay, because God used those people to support the main person that he had placed on assignment for the bigger mission.
Right.
And I think that's so admirable, you. And I think it also gives an inspiration to other artists to know how to play your role that God gave you.
For sure.
And by doing that, you said, quote, I ain't missed nothing.
Right, I ain't missed nothing.
That's so powerful, Pson. I just want to stay right there on that. Speaking of on you though, when you have done records with you, boy, you've held your own, or you stepped out and crushed that. So I got this one. I mean, you always do your thing. Yeah. Even your solo records, you got your melodies, your wordplay, the Atlanta, the way you deliver in that Atlanta style, which is so authentic. Yeah. Some people sometimes try to do it, and it's like, bro, it's cool, but it's like, man, you got to be born here to do it well. It ain't.
It's some hidden sauce.
It's not on you. It's in you.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So, and I think there's one song that stands out to me that made me smile from ear to ear. I seen him perform live, and this is after. First of all, Pson construction business, me and my wife, for our real estate business, have used him and his company to renovate some of our homes. And so outside of him being a rapper, the boy got a whole business, you know what I'm saying? Renovations, rehabbing houses, amazing. Yeah. And so I got to know you up close in a lot of different ways. Yeah. And I also got to root for you in a way that was really special. This is at the Pray for Atlanta tour stop in Atlanta. So there's a song, Favorite Trapper, that's featuring, you and Young Dro. And when I tell you, that's my favorite 1K Pson verse.
Bro, yes. I get so excited.
Yo. I don't know. I mean, Phew set it up. Dro did his, Dro kept it going. But Pson landed the plane.
Yeah, man. God. Yes.
Talk about how that verse came together and the energy that went into that verse, man. That was an all-star moment, bro.
Man, it's crazy. Like, that verse was like, even when bro dropped it, he told me I think I was sick, and I was like, when he told me, I was like, I ain't gonna be cause Dro is a Atlanta legend. So I'm like, why you want me on this song? You know what I'm saying? I'm thankful, but I'm like, man, I don't know if I'm so. And then I think I was sick, and I was like, God, I you know what I'm saying? I know you called me to do this, so I know you gonna, cause I pray, before I, lay any verses down, and I just tell God to speak and tell me what to say. And so I just went in that, that's almost, I could say, was the fastest I wrote a verse, that song. And then I just say this God, like, cause like I think I was like, I was sick and I wrote that, and then I sent it back to Phew. He was like, fire. So I was like, okay.
We need to get sick more often then, brother. Counting them, your boy started went low, he done. I'm counting up the blessings and the money. What? The fact that you say money in the Christian in the gospel rap record.
I love that.
Y'all understand how powerful that is. That's like, we man, seeing you perform that. First of all, the performance at Vinyl in Atlanta for the Pray for Atlanta tour stop.
That was
it was Young Dro came out.
Yeah, that was special, right?
Played a few of his records, and then we had the DJ had the skirt on some of the language. Yeah. But he was having a good time. I think he's on a whole faith journey, which is a testament to seeing examples in the faith that I think he probably didn't see. Like, yo, these boys out here really rapping for God, rapping for the kingdom.
For sure.
I could probably, man. So I think that's planted a seed in him.
Yeah,
that
man.
I'm excited to see what God does. But on stage, I mean, bro, when your verse came on, but if anybody had a camera on Ace, your boy Ace was jumping 10 feet. I could have dunked the basketball. But the whole place was shaking.
Bro, we were at Phew Day Bash this year, and I got the chance to host. And of course, Phew, he's gonna do his mix of songs, and he did Favorite Trapper, and then so I'm standing next to Pete, and then so I'm holding the mic, and I give Pete a mic because you don't think you're not about to do this verse. At first he was like, no, and then shout out to my brother-in-law Kimo. He was next to me. He said, boy, if you don't take this mic, go up there and do that verse. I don't know how you sit next to me, not go up there and do your verse, man.
Yeah. That's so how that
legendary. Well, shoot, man, we don't have a lot of time. I wanted to. Well, we could talk about, man. We could talk with you for hours. Honestly, I wanted to. A good thing that Meah was talking about in your story and thought it would just be a good question to ask, like, for the people that felt like they were out, right, and gone away from God, and you had that moment where you realized you were the prodigal. What can you say to them to encourage them, man, to know that there's always a way, there's always a home to come back to? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he always gonna be with you, man. Like when it really hit me, like I shared at some of my shows, when it really hit me, I was in the middle of a club, you know what I'm saying? And I just started saying, thank you, Jesus, thank you, Jesus, thank you, Jesus. And that's when I knew, like, this is me, this is who I am. You know, I gotta go back to the Father, and I gotta do what He called me to do. And I just want everybody to know, like, man, you ain't never messed up too much, you know what I'm saying? You still have grace, you still have mercy, you know what I'm saying? He's still with you, you know what I'm saying? Though it may look like, everything is falling apart and things ain't going your way, it's all gonna work it's all gonna work out for your good, you know what I'm saying? And I just encourage everybody just to call on Him and develop a relationship, a real relationship. Like, talk to God, just like we sitting here talking right now. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes He's gonna talk back. Sometimes He's just gonna listen. Sometimes you gotta just be quiet and just God, whatever you have for me, speak to me. You know what I'm saying? Because it's very important. Because I feel like a lot of people, starting to get lost, and just get lost into the things we do for Him. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's a lot of high moments, but it's like, the high moments, but like, where's your heart? Like, is your heart still in it, or you just figured out how to make it look good, sound good, and stamp God on it and just run with it? You know what I'm saying? We got to make sure we just not doing that, because like, the enemy, if he ain't messing with you, you ain't no threat. You know what I'm saying? And you got to remember that. Like, if he messing with you, even though it may be hard, you just got to say, thank you, Jesus, because I know I'm still representing for you. But if you feeling like, hey, you ain't no threat. He already got you. You know what I'm saying? Got your mind. But if he does, you know what I'm saying, it's time to come back. It's time to, come back, be a real soldier.